Hey guys, Stavros here from RPM Auto Reviews. I'm inside a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe, the ultimate 2-liter turbo. So, just a little gem information. It's a very comfortable ride. It soaks up bumps pretty good. The steering response, just going to be kind of do some little back and forth here. There's a slight play in it. It's not as sporty steering response and road feedback like the Mazda CX-5 is known to have, which I test drive as well, and the reviews coming out for that, if not already out by me on that one. It definitely is reasonably responsive. You know, it does go where you want it to go when you're driving. You do have some feedback. It's not like it's a very numb ride like you're driving like an old Buick or something like that. So it's still pretty good. So props for that. It handles relatively decent for the class, you know, for what it is. All right, so I'm going off a little bit of a more dead end road here just to kind of see the how it rides on more gravelly off road. I think you heard a couple of bumps there. Okay, so we're coming to some kind of a unassumed road here as well. I don't know if I should be going in here. You know what, I'm not going to venture down this road. There's a lot of branches sticking out and stuff, and I shouldn't get this tester scratched up. Alright, so we're going to go down this bumpy road here. See how the Santa Fe reacts to this kind of terrain. Oh, I think this is someone's property because there's cows here. So we'll turn around. But it is pretty bumpy there. And it's soaking up the bumps on the OK side, I think. It's not overly soft on it, but it's actually pretty decent for the kind of bump it is. You would be comfortable going down your country side roads or your fire roads to your cottage. Now, regarding that kind of light trail off-roading, this only has around 7.3 inches of ground clearance. The older Santa Fe's like I have 8-inch. It'd be nice to have at least 8-inch or more. Like, you know, the Outback has 8.7, the Jeeps have 8.7, you know, the SUVs, etc. So this is on the lower side. So you cannot do any, you know, due to ground clearance reasons, you can't really be going too off-roady. But because this Santa Fe's all-wheel drive system does have a locking center diff, it is a dedicated all-wheel drive to power to every wheel when you lock your center diff. Now, I believe at 60 kilometers, 40 to 60, somewhere between there, it disengages and goes back to on demand. But up to that speed, you do have your dedicated locking center diff, power to all wheels. You can turn off the traction control if you want even more consistency and not the stability control and the traction control to kind of be doing its thing where it's stopping power to one wheel because it senses sleeping. So because of the locking center diff and you're turning off traction control in the lower speeds, if you really got to go through some deeper mud, up a steep hill, through heavy snow, luckily this system can't do it. So it is better than other all-wheel drive systems that are only the on-demand kind. Same as my Hyundai 2011 has and my Santa Fe, and it really is a very, very good all-wheel drive system. So I give it thumbs up, and I recommend it to people who are considering this car and comparing the all-wheel drive systems. Thumbs up on the all-wheel drive system on this. Only a little more ground clearance would have been a bonus. Yeah, but that's cool about the all-wheel drive system on this one. When you put it in the option for sport or comfort mode, some of them just affect the revving. It might help the steering response a little bit too, but some of them just do the revving. So it's like one gear less, so you get more responsiveness in the throttle to feel more sporty, but doesn't actually make it faster. Just quicker responding, which is a bonus though too. But this one, if you put it in smart mode, it gives between 0 to maximum 15% power to the rear wheels to save fuel economy. So if you accelerate, it will give an ever so slight. Like if you see the little wheels on here, pay attention to the bottom ones. You see the little blue line come up? A couple of more. So because I'm accelerating hard, it's showing that it's giving up to 15% torque to the rear wheels. If I'm in comfort mode and I do the same thing, okay, I'm full throttle there, it's showing me that it's decided to add a bit more as well. If I go to sport mode, it does also switch down the gear ratio like it said, but the comfort can give, I believe, up to maximum 35 torque from 15 to 35 percent of torque to the rear wheels, whereas the sport can give from 35. When you're driving it automatically is giving you some more than the other levels, and it can give you up to 50% in the thing. See that? Now the blue lines don't show as much as 50, maybe because I'm not going up a hill. It doesn't need to go to 50. Now I know it says it can go up to 50% of the rear wheels, but the blue level of power to the wheels is showing still more at the front. That might have something to do with it doesn't think it needs to give you more because you're on a flat level. It probably senses that if you're on an uphill, it may give you a little more, up to 50, to help you accelerate on an uphill as well. So that's a pretty cool feature. And it's true on a flat surface for saving some gas as well. You don't need it to be 50% in the back.
Please say a command.
Find fast food.
Please say the line number.
I feel like Subway. Number 3.
You will be guided to the third destination on the list.
Pretty cool, guys. Okay, so let's see how the lane keep assist works. Let's see if this is going to take me off or not. Keep me in the lane. Not bad. It's keeping me in the lane. I gave the steering wheel a slight rightward, like clockwise nudge to go towards the side. And it's pushing me back. This is way better than the Mazda's lane keep assist. On my review in that, it was kind of bumping you back into your lane, but it kind of just, if you kind of were riding on it and you just give it a slight nudge, well, now it's letting me go over as well. I'm not sure why. It was doing a good job, but it just let me go over there. But the Mazda's let me go over the line a lot easier. So that's a negative there for the Mazda. Let me test this again and see why it was doing that. Keep hands on the steering wheel is what the message is telling me. Driver grasp not detected. LA keep using system. So it's got like a sensor system where it detects whether you're active or not as well. So I'm trying to gauge how that's helping me out, which it is at the beginning, but then it seems to want to give up and let me go over the line. So I'm trying to figure that one out again. So if I give it a slight nudge towards the white line on the right, it does actually push me right back and say, hey, what are you doing? A further note on the lane keep assist, this actually guides you around a turn pretty good as well. I'm going to do a small test here. There's a sharp turn coming up ahead, so keep hands on steering wheel. It's taking me around the turn. It says that it was helping around the turn, but then it said it's detecting that I'm not being alert. It's going to deactivate. So I'm not sure the theory behind that. If I'm not alert, then why would you deactivate and let me cross the line and smash into somebody? This thing keeps disengaging for you. I don't know why. Unless there's a setting to turn that off. I'm going to test if I can turn off that disengagement. But right now, oh, there it goes. Did you see that? It was helping me, and then it's disengaged. So I gotta check if there's an off switch for that part, so it could just keep going. That might be some option for that. If there is, I'll turn it off and I'll report on it. I turned off the driver system alert warning kind of feature, and it does seem to not disengage. I'm getting a little bit further testing, but it seems not to disengage and let you cross the lines. It lasts a little bit better when you turn that system off. I'm not sure exactly why something that's supposed to warn you turns off, but keeping you in the lane a couple of times seems to be a bit better when you turn that part off. Definitely better than the Toyota RAV4 and the Mazda CX-5 system. We'll do another test right now. Here we go. There we go. Push me back in my lane. Let's go the other side like I'm falling asleep. Push me back in my lane. Let me do it again this side. Push me back in my lane. There's a car coming in, so I don't want to push my luck. There we go. Push me again. 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 Okay, that one I got went a little too aggressive, so I don't blame it. Push me again. Push me again. There you go. This one works very good. Very similar to the Subaru. Again, the Subaru gave up after 4 or 5 bounces back and forth. This was like 7 or 8. And it keeps pushing you back. And if it's too aggressive, it might just go over, right? So, I mean, it can only do so much. Because if it's too aggressive, it thinks that you took over. Man, it could be you just falling asleep and more weight. You put more weight on the steering wheel to the right as you fell asleep. So, but I guess it can't be perfect, right? It doesn't know whether you're taking over or not. And if it's too sensitive and keeps fighting you, even though you're the one trying to do something, then people won't want to drive a car with that. So I guess even though you could have fallen asleep too much to the right, it did help out for a while. So that's pretty good. Thumbs up on the lane keep assist on this car. Some little gas. I'm cruising at 70 kilometers an hour, and I give it some gas and listen to the turbo lag already. Not too much. There's only like a half a second, which is not so bad because the car's already moving. From a standstill, the turbo lag is like over a second. I mean, there's like a second delay and it starts to move, and then the turbo kicks in. So until the actual turbo kicks in, it's almost like a 2-second delay from a standstill. So that's not good. I don't like that. Thumbs down for the lag to get going in an emergency situation from a standstill. So we're going to do an acceleration test, which I've done, and I'll tell you the numbers in a second, but I just want you to hear the engine and how it accelerates in full throttle just to hear. So I'm just going to merge on the highway in a second. Okay, so here we go, full throttle. Now, regarding acceleration tests, I've been doing my 50 to 70 mile acceleration test and 60 to 80 mile acceleration test, and some 0 to 100 kilometers, which is 63 miles per hour acceleration tests. And as per some other reviews I've seen, this car from 50 to 70 mile per hour passing test, it does do it in the mid 5 per second, like 5.5 seconds. Give or take 0.1, 0.2, depending on the road and everything. For this class, that's subpar. Most cars in this class are definitely doing it in the mid 4s or under 5 seconds for sure. So acceleration, I mean, it's adequate. You know, other cars will do that test in 6 seconds or more that don't have a turbo. So it's adequate. But considering the competition that it's going against and some of the other engines and powerful vehicles it's competing against, I would have to give it a thumbs down on the passing test. Again, compared to other cars that have turbos like the CX-5, the Outback, this Equinox, the Sportage, anything that has like a good turbo option is quicker than this one if it's in the same class. The only ones that don't have turbos are slower. And 0 to 100, I'm getting over 8 seconds no matter what. If I put it into the sport mode or the comfort mode, if I prime the engine a little bit, I prime in the gas, so I got the revs going a little bit while holding the brake, and then let go of the brake and time my acceleration, doesn't help. One time it was even slower because of that, because when I let go of the brake and the gas was slightly pressed, I let go of the brake and then gunned the gas, it had a longer delay to kind of figure out what was going on. So no matter what, I'm getting over 8 seconds in my real world person trying to drive this car and take off from a start. I don't know what car driver and motor trend, how they do their testings. They're getting 7.5 to 7.8 seconds, 0 to 60 miles per hour. Now they do 0 to 60, I would do 0 to 63 miles per hour because it's 100 kilometers in Canada. But that 3 miles should only be like 0.3, 0.4 of a second. So I should still be at maximum 8 seconds to do 0 to 100. But I'm doing it in, 8.5 and higher eights. I couldn't get it into the lower eights. Fuel economy. Another reason I don't like this is because I love the car in general, and I'll get to that in a sec, but it's thumbs down because the power being just adequate and less than its competitor, it's also worse on fuel than its competitor. So now that's a double whammy. Like I'm not getting as much power as the competitor, and I'm gonna cost me more gas to drive this. So to me, that's a negative. I think I'm gonna take it off my short list of vehicles for my next car. So what I'm saying is that even though I'm telling you that I love the car for its overall, all its features, great overall comfort, if you truly don't care about the power as long as it's adequate, and you're not really that care about the fuel economy, because if you like the car, you're the kind of person you'll just buy because you love the car for all the other features, its active systems, its comfort, it's got safety features with the if there's a kid in the back, it'll let you know, it reminds you to check your back seat when you're leaving the car. It won't let a rear passenger open the rear door. If the cross traffic alert system senses a car approaching on the side of that car, it won't let you open the door. So your little kid tries to run out of the car prematurely, it'll stop it if you have that feature turned on. And so overall, it really has a lot of cargo space. It's great. A lot of cargo room in the back. It really is a great car. I'm just a picky guy, so I'm going to take it off my list most likely for the power/lack fuel economy ratings. 2-liter turbo. You know what? It's a pretty nice engine. I do think it's underpowered, like I was saying in the driving review, for the size of the car. That's a big negative to me. I do like that, and even with the air vent being more direct in and into the engine and into the turbo system, that's a bonus. A lot of cars have the air intake that goes in, and it takes a sharp turn, and it's got to go back and like this and hit so many walls before it makes it into the engine. That's not really a ram air effect, right? So this one's a bit more direct. I like that, but still the power's a little low. The car does have the hydraulic supports. I think it was at the Mazda the other day I was driving, and it had the prop rod that you have to prop up yourself, right, to hold the hood up. So